The live-work lifestyle is a common way of life for Ecuador's poor. Every household seems to run a small business, whether it's a convenience store on the front porch or a shoemaker's shop in the living room. Many times, it's manufacturing brick or even concrete block in the front yard. Along the Cordillera, the highlands of the Andes in northern Ecuador and southern Colombian San Juan de Pasto region, I have seen the primitive ovens and smokestacks baking artisanal brick. And along the coastal road that stretches from Colombia to Peru, right along Ecuador's Pacific Ocean corridor, it's not uncommon to see roadside stands selling homemade concrete block. The factory typically consists of 1 or 2 artisanal block makers racing to press as many blocks as they can in a day under the shade of a makeshift canopy. The process is simple. The block makers blend sand and Portland cement in a damp dry mix and then pack it tightly into a press to mold various types of blocks, and then they set the blocks in the sun to dry. The raw materials come cheap, especially the sand, which the block makers mine on the beaches. One drawback to this sea sand comes with salinity and seashells. The salts break down concrete and rebar prematurely. You can see this in the older buildings where the concrete block becomes Swiss cheese. I asked Freddy Gonzalez how much more it would cost to buy good river sand that won't pit and crumble with time, and he says it could add as much as 10 cents to a block and people they wouldn't pay the difference. For non-structural uses such as a garden wall, the sea sand block is perfectly adequate, and I even find beauty in a building material that naturally biodegrades. I've seen some very ugly structures scaling and blistering into dust that blows with the wind thanks to this marvelous disappearing block. But when we use it for home and hotel construction, the result is what we witnessed during the 7.8 magnitude earthquake that struck northwestern Ecuador in 2016, where collapsing buildings killed and injured several thousand. Nonetheless, it all begins with the mix. It's extremely dry, which allows Freddy and his brother to pack the material quickly and neatly into their molds. Using little water makes for a stronger block that holds its shape to dry in the sun.
¿Cuántos puede hacer al día? 200. ¿Y a cuánto venden?
¿Mande?
¿A cuánto venden cada uno?
Cada uno, 38.
38 centavos.
Sí.
The block makers seem to race each other, and one can produce about 200 units daily, which sell for about 38 cents a piece. The blocks come in several shapes and sizes depending on how many molds the block maker owns and what the customers want. A block making mold costs almost $60. A few blocks from Freddy, Wilson Pozo has an even simpler but highly profitable operation. He makes column blocks in one simple mold. Wilson tells me he can produce nearly 300 blocks a day. People stop and buy them for about 40 cents a piece. I don't know that he can actually sell 300 a day, but if he could, this represents nearly $100 profit in a country where a decent wage is as little as $18 a day. Freddy was a mechanic 10 years ago, but found block making not only more profitable than fixing cars, but liberating, since he can hustle a few days and then sell from the stock lined up in the yard, giving him freedom to enjoy time with his family and beautiful little daughter.